So, hello and welcome, dear colleagues here from Munich, where the national team 1920 arrived at the Hilton at the Tura Park for the match against Hungary tomorrow on Wednesday. And I would like to say welcome to our head coach, Joachim Low. And the first question is, how is the current situation within the squad? There were some injured players, slightly injured players. And what happened this morning, the final training, who will be at disposal? And then in second part, the second question, what kind of expectations do you have for your team and for the match tomorrow? Well, after our match against Portugal, some players got slightly injured, and that's why we brought them off the pitch, took them off the pitch. And our medical department, medical staff, had a lot of work to do the last 2-3 days. But the current situation this morning at final training, all those players like Mats Hummels, Ilkay Gündogan, Robin Gosens, they trained with the team. Only Thomas Muller couldn't, and Lukas Klostermann either. With Thomas Muller, we will have to wait until tomorrow. He will do another test, another check tomorrow morning, whereas the other players will train here at the hotel. And then we will see and take a decision if Thomas Muller will be at disposal or not. Then expectations, well, I think we're all happy about the victory over Portugal, the way we did it. But of course, we analyzed it. Some things we still can improve. And I think that the team is very focused, very concentrated, and we are aware of that we only did a small step. Now we are in a situation where it's in our hands to progress, to succeed. So I hope to see the same performance tomorrow, the same attitude, the same approach to be successful tomorrow. Your questions, please raise your virtual hand. Marco Mada first, please. A lot discussions about Thomas Muller, but also about things that take off the pitch. How do you see this discussion about eliminating the stadium in rainbow colors? Why do you think that the decision of Uefa is the wrong one? Well, basically, I would have been happy. I had been happy if the stadium would have been eliminated in the rainbow colors. But on the other hand, it's important that with us, we don't turn off the lights with the team, with our performance, with all importance for signals and symbols. They should be lived, they should be shown, these values, that these are lived. And I think, and shown, and I think that it is the case within our team, in our team. As you could see, we did a lot of activities in the past and will set signals also in the future. But important is to live these values. Next question, Jens Mende, please. Mr. Löw, can you hear me? Yes. In case you need a plan B if Thomas Muller can't play. So who would you bring in then, or bring on, with Goretzka maybe? Or would you even throw in an attacker like Leroy Sane? Well, as I will wait until tomorrow afternoon, to be clear how the situation looks like. There are different thoughts, of course, different options. For me, to choose between different players, but we'll talk to the players, to the team. The team gets to know first about the starting lineup from my side. And so we just said we will wait until tomorrow afternoon and then we will take a decision. Julian Wolf, please. Thank you, Jens. Hello, Mr. Löw. After your win against Portugal, then you said that Hungary has developed very well, that they gained quality. How do you expect your opponent tomorrow? Could it be that you need to be patient? Well, we have known our opponent. We haven't seen them playing not only here at the Euro in their 2 matches before, but also we analyzed them already before. We knew how the group looks like. So they have been playing on a very constant level. This is clear. They can be a threat. They have a great defensive line. In duels, they are great, very strong, and well prepared for such matches. You could see that against France, for example. France had a lot of problems, and Portugal as well. After 88th minute, they scored the opener, actually. So that's why we have to be ready and prepared for a tough match. It won't be as open as the match against Portugal. There won't be maybe so many attacks on both sides, because Portugal was willing, of course, to keep the match open, to attack. And Hungary focuses a lot on defending and on the counter. So it would be great for us to take advantage of our options, of our opportunities and score goals. But on the other hand, it could be that in such matches you need patience, because such an opponent maybe needs to be played against and made tired for 50, 60 minutes, because they throw in everything. As you could see in the first 2 matches, you know why Hungary still has a chance to qualify for the last 16. And I think that just because I think that the last 3-4 years they have improved a lot. So, hello, Mr. Löw. Thank you. Jens Mende just asked the question about Leroy Sané, and I would like to ask again, how do you see him, Leroy Sané, in the last days? Maybe his attitude is not 100% correct. Could you confirm that? And the question, how long was he away from being put into the starting 11 in the last 2 matches? Well, I can't really confirm that in terms of his attitude. I think that Leroy Sané, he was disappointed. That's logical if you can't play from the first minute on, but the same applies to other players. And on the other hand, you have to say that the energy behind and of course the performance in training, they are very well top. Also from Leroy Sane, he has great qualities. He's a world-class player. I think everybody knows about that. And in many sectors, he really improved, especially also in the defensive work. And I think that he has great opportunities, great options in his attacking game. And his performances in training were absolutely fine. He has the right attitude. And I'm sure that if he gets the chance to play, he will be ready. Oliver Hartmann from Kicker, please. Next. Good evening, Mr. Löw. In the first 2 matches, group matches, the team had to trail. They had to concede an opener and then trail behind. So will you focus even more not to concede the first goal? Well, it's logical that you wish for it, that you don't trail behind. we won't now focus more on our defensive work, despite maybe being behind, like against Portugal. But in the match against France, I said that we are still looking for the right balance. This is important for our game actually. And if a match is against France, Portugal, that there you have to concede maybe one or two opportunities. This is normal. And also Portugal, they have great players in their ranks, so they can be a threat with such individual star players. And you can't stop them completely. So that's why after a corner we conceded a goal, and a corner kick from us actually. So positioning wasn't correct from our team, but we analyzed it, we talked about it, we showed great reaction against Portugal then, and I think we need to find this right balance. I think we managed to show that and was better in the match against Portugal. Our approach was to put them more under pressure, attack more. We managed to do that, and out of the game I think we didn't concede them a lot of opportunities, so we were very focused, but I was not completely happy and satisfied with the match against Portugal because we still need to improve on certain things. We committed mistakes in that match, which were easy mistakes, but on the other hand, we dominated the match, we controlled the match. So I think this should be a good basis for us for the next upcoming matches. Kerry Hauf from Spox, please, next. Good evening, Mr. Löw. One question to Jamel Muzayla. He only sat in the stands. What is he missing, or what does he lack? Or is it just too early to bring him on with his 18 years? Well, tomorrow he will be on the bench. That's true. The first two matches we took this decision. We have strong players. If you look at all the names, and Jamal, he just joined the team. He still have to learn his lessons. It's a different pressure situation, such matches. So, but in training you can see his talent, his skills, also in the duels. He has a lot of skills, especially for his age. So tomorrow he will be on the bench, that's for sure. He had a couple of weeks now to get adapted and saw all the process. So he became more and more confident over the last 2 or 3 weeks and seems a bit more clear in his game, in our training. And he gets better and better adapted as well to the pace, get better adapted to his team colleagues. And there are certain other things he got adapted well to it. He made good progress in the last weeks, and tomorrow he deservedly will be on the bench. Aji Ventut, please. At the weekend, the nice story of Robin Gosens. How do you see his quality as a character, as personality? And in your career, you have got to know a lot of players and nominate them for the first time. And he said that he was full of pressure, was all excited. How did you see, or how did you see it from the beginning? Well, I answered this question already a couple of days ago. He's a very positive character, a very positive personality, who from the beginning on was very open. He communicates very well, and he has a great attitude. What he shows on the pitch, it comes from something actually. He's very professional, great willingness, and I think that he learned very fast as a character and also in a sportive aspect, he managed to adapt very fast and very well into the team. So in this form he showed he's very important for us. Kai Funke next, please. Good evening, Mr. Löw. Short question. You just said that Jamel Muzayla, he will sit on the bench. Lucas Klostermann will be in the stands. So two more will have to sit down in the stands. One maybe Thomas Muller, but could you tell us who will be the third one sitting in the stands? No, I still don't know. We will wait. We'll wait until tomorrow. We'll see how the things are with Thomas Müller, and as I said, we'll take the decision then. Christian Falk, please, next. So is he an option for the starting 11? I didn't hear the name. I haven't heard it. Leon Goretzka, about him. Is he ready for the starting 11? Well, yes, I think so. There's always a small question mark. If a player hasn't played for 4 or 5 weeks, it would be better to bring him on step by step. But in training, he gives a great impression, very dynamic. There's always the question, how does it look like? 90 minutes, yes, no, 90 minutes of competition, duels, intensive runs. So I don't know. You can't answer it after such a injury break. But as I said, in training, he gives a good impression. He gave a good impression. And I think that he is absolutely ready. Last question, Markus Kremer. Hello, Mr. Löw. Good evening. You said there's going to be a tight match. Not many opportunities maybe compared to the match against Portugal. So more important, set pieces could be. Did you train and focus on set pieces, or is it not possible between two matches? Well, in between two matches in the training camp, we haven't trained any set pieces because this was Sunday. Monday we needed to recover, regenerate, but we talked about it, of course, obviously. We had bigger problems with defensive set pieces, in positioning, in defending, in stopping, blocking. So there was a threat, a big threat actually, in some situations. We weren't focused enough in those situations, but it's not always a thing of training. It's also something about, it has to do with the concentration, the focus. How do I work against my opponent? The positioning in defense, we have our positioning, our certain positions, but you need to be active. So we had a few problems, and in attack, our set pieces in attack, we can do them better. We talked about it, we analyzed them, and I think that tomorrow I will talk about it again, show maybe a few things, and it's important that we need to focus really on those set pieces, because, as you said, it can be a decisive factor in a match. Thank you very much to our head coach, and we'll